So as a rate statement, the amount Lena earns in a year is this amount per 1 year. If we want to know how much Lena earns per month, we take that amount, of course, and divide it by 12 to get that amount per month. Or if we wanted to know how much Lena earns in a fortnight, we'd take this amount and divide it by the number of fortnights in a year. Now the number of fortnights in a year is half of 52, which is 26. So it's this amount divided by 26 gives us this amount per fortnight. All right, now there's some terms that you might not be familiar with, which you need to know. The gross is the total amount that you're paid. Deductions are things that take away from that. So for instance, there's tax, maybe you have some equipment that you need to pay for to do your job. Maybe you have union fees or some other costs that are taken out of your pay. And your net pay is the amount that you actually get to keep and spend after deduction. So the net pay is the gross pay, take away deductions. Now just for interest's sake here, I've put this chart below of the current Australian income tax rates. So for the first roughly $18,000 that you earn, the Australian government will not take any tax at all. But after that, every dollar you earn after that, up until $37,000, you lose 19 cents out of every dollar. Once you're earning over $37,000, then you'll lose 32.5 cents per dollar, and so on. So these are examples of deductions. All right, so use your knowledge of those terms to solve these problems. So we have someone who earns a gross income of $498.95. Some income taxes taken out, that's a deduction, and some union fees are taken out, that's another deduction. And what you have to do is calculate the net income. So remember, your net income is the gross amount minus deductions. Pause the video here and try these problems. All right, and here's the answer for those. Pause the video, just check your answers. All right, these questions are about what are called penalty rates or overtime. And these are situations where your employer generally has to pay you extra amounts of money if you work either extra hours or hours at times when people wouldn't normally work. So maybe on Sundays or on public holidays. And penalty rates are normally calculated as a multiplier of what you normally earn. So the time and a half rate. So let's say you're paid $18 normally. So time and a half rate would be, we take half of $18, which is 9, and we add that onto there. So 9 plus 18 gets us to what? 27. So the time and a half rate, if you're normally paid $18, is $27 per hour. And the double time rate, of course, would be double this amount. So pause the video here and go through these questions. And now, excuse me, and now check your answers for those. Again, pause the video. Alrighty, so Ryan is a bricklayer and he's paid $28.90 normally for a standard 36.5 hour week. But if he works more than that amount of time, then he starts getting paid some overtime. So the first 8 hours after that are overtime. And after the 8 hours, he's actually paid as double time. So we're going to work out how many extra hours he was working in this week and what he's going to be paid for that. So pause the video here. All right, and check your answers for that. If you didn't get those numbers, you need to go back and try those sums again and see where you went wrong. All right, and in the rest of this chapter, there's a few questions that follow on from these things. They're really good questions to get some practice in. They start at page 13, question 12.